Straight ahead on 12 News, Boston bound.
I think I'm going to cry. I think I'm going to think about all the people that were affected by those bombs.
The upcoming race that comes filled with emotions. Then, a spot in Golden Valley that continues to be a draw for car dealers. But first, a Crystal woman's tax scare and a warning from consumer experts.
Scammers, again, are kind of looking for any soft spot, anything they can exploit.
12 News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. The deadline for filing your taxes is midnight Tuesday.
And whether you've filed yet or not, the IRS says this is prime time for scammers. As Cassie Bonstrom reports, a Crystal mom almost learned that lesson the hard way.
I was thinking with my heart. I wasn't thinking with my brain.
Ibrahima Kapik knows she almost made a $2,000 mistake.
She was like, I need you to go to the CVS and buy a voucher of $1,797.
The Crystal woman got a call Friday morning from someone claiming to be an officer with the IRS.
It should have been a red flag to me.
The caller said there were problems with her back taxes and a warrant out for her arrest.
And I know we didn't do anything like that we should go to jail.
The caller played on Ibrahima's vulnerabilities, mentioning her kids, threatening deportation to her native Bosnia. Money, of course, though, would make the problem go away.
Something just told me that this is not right.
Fighting her gut instinct, she went to the local CVS store to transfer the money. Fortunately, a clerk stepped in and convinced her it was a scam.
Scammers, again, are kind of looking for any soft spot, anything they can exploit.
Dan Hendrickson with the Better Business Bureau says IRS scams are common this time of year, and often immigrants are the target.
And I don't doubt that the calls they make sound pretty official, but people need to remind themselves that if they do owe the IRS money, the IRS will communicate via mail first.
Scammers are so sophisticated these days that it's often hard to spot one, but there are always red flags.
Watch out for threatening language or any threat to arrest you immediately if you don't make a payment. The IRS doesn't work that way.
Hi, this is Officer Rose O'Connor with the Federal Badge ID 15939.
It's exactly what the scammer did to Ibrahima, even calling back and leaving a voicemail.
You have 10 minutes to give me a call back on my number.
Ibrahima's grateful she didn't pay the money. She now hopes other potential victims hang up the phone sooner than she did.
For all you people out there, be aware, because you can lose everything you have. If you feel like something's not right, it's not right.
Now, if you've received a similar scam call, the IRS would like to hear from you. We'll put their official phone number on our website at 12.tv. And Mike and Alex also include some other tips from the Better Business Bureau. This was their scam of the month, actually, on their website. So they have some tips about what to avoid, some more of those red flags. If you hear any of those, hang up the phone right away.
Too close for comfort.
Very, very close. Very close.
Thanks, Cassie. Teachers in the Anoka-Hennepin School District start voting today on whether to approve a new contract. A tentative deal was reached 2 weeks ago after 10 months of negotiations. If approved, teachers would receive pay raises following 4 years of pay freezes. Under the previous deal, the average teacher salary was $62,000. Voting will occur over the next couple of days. The results will be released on Thursday morning. If you're in the market for a luxury vehicle, look no further than Golden Valley.
The city is already home to Cadillac, Jaguar, and Infiniti, but in the next year, several more luxury brands will dot the dealership landscape along Interstate 394. Delane Cleveland joins us now with more on that. Delane?
Mike and Alex, just 2 weeks ago, the Golden Valley City Council approved plans to expand a Porsche dealership. This week, they'll look at plans to add a Maserati and Bentley showroom to the mix.
I think once you get one or two kind of high-end car dealerships in one location, it kind of becomes a magnet, and then other car dealerships want to be located near, so if people are browsing or shopping, they can kind of hit a bunch of different dealerships in one sweep, and you start to build this critical mass, and that seems to be what's happening here, especially along 394.
Maury's Automotive Group would build the new 2-level Bentley and Maserati showroom on the site of a 1-acre lot adjacent to the Cadillac dealership. The company already has a Bentley and Maserati dealership in Minnetonka, but they'll be relocating that to Golden Valley to make room for an expansion of their Mazda brand. Meantime, officials with the Twin West Chamber of Commerce say they're excited about the news.
It's a good thing. It draws people here. They're spending dollars that go into the local economy through the businesses, and so clearly we see that as a good sign for the health of the economy here in the West Metro.
The Golden Valley City Council will look at the preliminary plan during their upcoming meeting on Thursday. Final approval won't happen for another 2 months, but they hope to begin construction on the Bentley and Maserati dealership sometime this summer. Mike?
All right, thanks, Delane. Well, this week, the Brooklyn Park City Council will look at the future of the city's fire department. The city is planning for future growth and increased call volumes. As a result, it's contemplating future staffing levels. That includes the possibility of going to a full-time fire department. It currently uses a part-time duty crew model to respond to medical calls and provide fire service.
Due to drying conditions and increasing winds, burning restrictions are now in effect for all of Hennepin County. As a result, the Minnesota DNR will not give out permits for burning brush or yard waste. Restrictions typically last 4 to 6 weeks until summer greenup occurs. Most wildfires in Minnesota occur during April and May. According to the DNR, 95% of those wildfires are caused by human error. In 1 week, the 118th Boston Marathon gets underway.
More than 600 Minnesotans are signed up to run the race, including 2 women from the Northwest Metro. Reporter Sonia Goen shows us why they are determined to run, even after last year's bombings.
I've run 24. Boston will be my 25th marathon.
Jen Schumacher and Chris Steven are ready to run the race of all races, the Boston Marathon. For months, the two have logged many miles on the Elm Creek Park Trail in Maple Grove.
I've been running 20 years.
Both Jen and Chris have participated in the race twice, but this year will be different.
It's gonna be an emotional day for everybody.
I think it's just going to be a totally different Boston than it was when I ran it before.
3 people were killed and hundreds more were hurt during last year's Boston Marathon.
I was really horrified. It's terrible. I mean, it's the best race. It's the race that I love, and to see that happen was really horrific. Very sad.
The runners, the spectators, nobody was doing anything. Everybody was minding their own business, just enjoying the day, and you know, it's just such a big group to target. And yes, I was upset.
While the images of last year's bombings are etched in their minds, both runners say they are determined to lace up their shoes and show support for the victims.
I wasn't going to go back to Boston, but after what happened last year, I love the people there. I wanted to support, Boston.
Runners are a strong community, and there's no reason that something like this would stop me from going to a race.
Chris and Jen say they're not worried or afraid that the tragedy could happen again.
I think there's a lot of security in place. I mean, it's the stuff that they're changing for this year is amazing. I mean, no bags, a lot of more security, more police officers at the race.
You can't walk in fear, and I just don't think it's going to happen again. And you can't live, like that for anything.
Both runners say they're not worried about setting personal records. When they cross the finish line, they will be Boston strong.
I think I'm going to cry. I think I'm going to think about all the people that were affected by those bombs, the children, the people that, just the mountains that they've had to climb to recover. And I think that's what I'll think about when I cross the finish line.
In Maple Grove, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
As you can imagine, security will be extremely tight. Listen to this. There will be 1,500 Boston police officers, 450 state police officers, 3,500 police from other agencies, and 600 National Guard soldiers all on hand to patrol the marathon. Coming up, a Golden Valley nonprofit that helps take the stress out of spring cleaning at the office.
And then later in sports, the Maple Grove softball team rolls to an impressive win over Champlin Park.
But first, what happened to spring? Don't put away your warm coats. It'll be a very chilly week. A challenging retail environment is blamed for a women's clothing company going out of business and closing stores nationwide and here in the Northwest Metro. Coldwater Creek has locations in Maple Grove and at Ridgedale Mall. The Idaho-based company filed for bankruptcy on Friday. The Star Tribune reports Coldwater Creek hasn't reported profit since 2006. A main competitor of Coldwater Creek is Plymouth-based Christopher & Banks. The annual ritual of spring cleaning isn't just reserved for the home.
That's right. It's for businesses, too. They need to keep current and rid themselves of clutter. In this week's Business Matters, a Golden Valley nonprofit is helping companies clean out by picking up old gadgets for free. At any office place, there are tools that help a business run.
With keeping up with technology, you got to get rid of the old.
Once a year at DJ Cran's company in Plymouth, the old gadgets must go.
We got the fax machine in here, a TV, and a computer right there, and a couple keyboards.
Enter in Golden Valley-based Tech Dump, a nonprofit that recycles computers and electronics for free, and they make business stops.
We pick up the items, we take it back to our warehouse, recycle them appropriately, destroy any data, and the businesses get a tax-deductible receipt as well as having all that stuff gone. So we think of it as everybody wins.
At Tech Dump's Golden Valley warehouse, they're on track this year to shred and recycle 4 million pounds of electronics from homes and businesses. And that allows this nonprofit to provide jobs for people who face barriers to employment.
I think there's also a lot of excitement in the business world of being able to use business for good.
This is the second year in a row DJ Cran's company has used Tech Dump for its spring cleanup.
Just the fact that all we have to do is open the door and they come in and do the work and get rid of it, it's been great for us. And the tax deduction obviously is a bonus as well.
We got 3 monitors, laptop, desktop computer, 2 fax machines.
It's a small load today, but there's no limit to how much this recycler will pick up. One business has 300 pallets of electronics that Tech Dump will soon collect with multiple trips. That's keeping gadgets out of the landfill or collecting dust elsewhere.
Yeah, you get a little more space in the closet.
If you have gadgets to get rid of at home or at a workplace, we have more information on our website about Tech Dump. Our website is www.12.tv. Coming up, who needs to hire a PR firm when you have a group of Golden Valley Girl Scouts?
But first in sports, the Robins Adapted Softball Program hosts a new tournament, and Jay Wilcox will have that and more when we come back. Time for sports, and we start with softball. Actually played outside, but this one wasn't close.
Yeah, they're getting some games in now, not always ideal conditions, though. Maple Grove softball team beat Champlin Park 3 times last spring on the way to the state tournament. The Rebels and Crimson hooked up in an early season matchup at Maple Grove. In the bottom of the first, Sydney Smith with a line drive to the gap for Maple Grove. Sammy Sadler scores, and it's 1-0 Crimson. The top of the third, a nice rip by Champlin Park's Sophie Johnson, but it's snagged by Shannon McMurphy to end the inning. To the bottom of the fifth, pitcher Smith comes through with a bat again, this time scoring Maddie Gordon. The next batter for Maple Grove is Jordan Mauk, and she launches a 2-run homer for a 5-0 Crimson lead. And that is more than enough for Smith in this one. She goes the distance, striking out 15. Maple Grove wins it 8-0. The Hopkins softball team finished with an 8-7 record in the weather-shortened 2013 season. With many players returning, the Royals are looking for bigger things this spring. Hopkins opening the season against Bloomington Kennedy. The game was moved to the Royals' home field from Bloomington. The Royals are the visitors. They score on the top of the second. No play for the pitcher here as Britta Hansen scores on Sally Guthrie's infield single. Bottom of the second, and Royals pitcher Allie Reese strikes out the Kennedy batter to end the inning. The Eagles leave the bases loaded. In the fourth, the Royals break it open. Guthrie singles to center. Jessica Krauser scores, and it is 4-0 in favor of Hopkins. Next up is Hannah Kleist, and she drives the ball deep to center. This one will get over the outfielder's head. 2-run score on a double by Kleist, and it's 6-0. They score 4 in the inning to lead it 7-0. In the fifth, Kleist singles to left. 1-run scores on the play, and Haley Den Hartog tries to score 2, but she is tagged out at the plate. No matter though, as Hopkins wins big, scoring a run in every inning to beat Kennedy 11-1. Osseo's baseball team is trying to regroup after a slow start to the season. The Orioles at home to face future Northwest Suburban Conference opponent Spring Lake Park. Top of the third, the Panthers' Tyler Drack loops a single, and it scores 2 runs, including Josh Rowe. And it's 4-1 Spring Lake Park. The bottom of the third, the Orioles get 2 runs back, including one on A.J. Lyons' run-scoring single to left. Stephen Fisher scores, and it's a 4-3 game. Lyons ends up on second on the play. But the Panthers get those runs back and more in the fourth. Mike Vandenbroek tags one deep to the gap in left center field. John Kelly scores. Spring Lake Park scores 4 runs in the inning. Fisher trying to rally the Orioles in the bottom of the fourth. He singles to right to bring Justin Philippon in, but it's not enough as Spring Lake Park wins 9-6. The Orioles are now 0-3. Lloyd Olson really got the adapted sports programs off the ground in the Robbinsdale School District. The Robins PI adapted softball team hosted the inaugural Lloyd Olson Invitational Friday and Saturday. And Lloyd was on hand as the Robins met Rochester in the final game. In the top of the first, Tyler Sarf delivers a hit to deep center here for the Robins. It scores Jordan Klein and Joe Dubasar for a 2-0 lead. And some great defense. Rochester's Patrick Healy looks like he has a hit, but Dubasar makes a nice running catch to end a bases-loaded jam. In the second, Casey Balint smacks a hit that gets by, and she could go all the way. The crowd senses it, and Casey does too. She's waved around third and scores for an inside-the-park home run to make it 3-0 Robins. The top of the fifth, Corey Tesh delivers a well-placed hit to score Klein, and the Robins build their lead to 6-0 through 5 innings. In the sixth, Dubasar comes through with a hard bouncer to center. Sean Johnson is the second of 2 runners to score as the Robins get the tournament title, going 3-0 after a 10-0 win over Rochester. In what becomes the third-place game, Wayzata Minnetonka facing Anoka-Hennepin. Anoka-Hennepin's in black. The chopper by Amanda Whalen scores Joy Mannion. It's 2-0 Mustangs. The Lakers go ahead, though. Nathan Olam bounces it up the middle to score Aaron Yan. Olam ends up on third, and it's 3-2 Wayzata Minnetonka in the top of the second. Bottom of 2, and Hannah France beats out an infield hit. Jordan Peshong comes in to score, and the Mustangs get 5 in the frame to lead 7-3. The top of the third, Jason Welters tags it to left, but Peshong makes a nice grab. The first of 2 straight good catches for the Mustangs. To the top of the fifth, Casey Steffen with a hit to right field that gets past the fielder. A run scores to tie the game, but Steffen is tagged out at home, and the Mustangs go on to win it 8-7 to take third place. So that's it for sports.
All right, thanks a lot, Jay. We'll be right back. A big park improvement project in Golden Valley is getting a marketing boost from some Girl Scouts.
Do you want to build a snowman? I'm sick of winter.
9 Girl Scouts from Meadowbrook Elementary put together a series of videos to help build excitement about a major makeover at Brookview Park. The first video starts with the girls tiring of winter and wanting to play outside. 2 more videos are in the works, and work at the park is also underway. Putting in the new play equipment is a $275,000 project. The Scouts will be there for the ribbon cutting next month, and you can find the videos on YouTube with a couple more to come.
All right, looks good. A little help from Frozen there with the music.
That's right. That's it for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
We'll see you back here tomorrow. Community Corner is coming up next.